Today was the last day in Lithuania, and to be honest, I wish I had at least one more day in Klaipeda. But our trip doesn't end here. Tomorrow, we're going to Latvia. Hello, Latvia! We just got here after a 5-hour bus ride from Lithuania, if you've seen my previous vlog. And I'm just excited for the next week because I love Lithuania and I'm sure I'm gonna love Latvia as well. However, first, get some food and then let the rest of the day unfold. We put it to a vote because we travel in a group and we decided to come on the beach to see a nice sunset. So we took the train. We're outside of Riga right now into a little city called Bulduri or Bulduri. Latvians, correct me. I'm gonna set up my camera and I hope I really catch a nice sunset. And I hope you like it too! If you've watched my Lithuanian vlog, you might remember what I said about what to do when visiting a new city. You go to the flea market, that's what you do. We didn't buy anything, but it's really interesting to see because some of the stands look like a history museum. So what may look like a church behind me, I just learned 2 minutes ago that it actually started, it was never a church by the way, it actually started as a, well, I'll put it in my words, a bachelor building club brotherhood thingy. So you can imagine, I mean, Google it. You can imagine what kind of things took place inside where only men that were not married were part of the group. But also, and Latvians, help me if you see this, why is it called the Brotherhood of Black Heads? A lot of times when I travel and the weather allows, I really like to just walk around the city and just explore, you know, stop at a coffee shop if I want, admire a building about the architecture that I have no clue about, just, you know, get a feel of the city.
Thank you. What country you come from?
Romania and Hungary.
Romania and Hungary. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So I was admiring this gentleman's music and I went to give some change to contribute, and guess what they started doing? They're playing the Romanian anthem. I didn't have time to film, but that was a lot of stairs. We are staying in Riga, that's where our hotel is, but more or less every day we travel outside of Riga to discover the places. The same thing we did today, we took the train 1 hour outside of Riga in a town called Sigulda or Sigulda. Again, Latvians, correct my pronunciation. A lot of people have been here, but most importantly is that Ramona was here. There are so many nice tracking pads around here, and I'm definitely not equipped for it. However, we've done at least 15 kilometers by now. We have just a few more points we want to see, and then a dinner. A feast. Feast! I really don't know how to say this without sounding cocky or arrogant or whatever, but I'm used to this kind of views. I've seen them in my travels, and we have plenty of this kind of views in Romania, but it's different when you're traveling and you see the local scenery, you breathe the local air, and it's different. I don't know. I guess I just like traveling. Okay, now to the feast. See you tomorrow. Okay, after a 40-minute ride by train outside of Riga, we are now in a city called Jelgava. We're gonna look around, check the old town, and then we take a bus to a city called Rundale. They have a castle that they call the Versailles of the Baltics. Never been to Versailles, but let's see if it compares. Don't judge me. This is it, the Versailles of the Baltics. Not sure if you can film inside, but we'll work it out. I must say the palace is impressive. More impressive is how much work they've put into renovating it. So I really think it's worth checking it out if you're around here anytime soon. And yeah, to the next location. We arrived a little bit too late to actually see the castle of Bauska on the inside. Nevertheless, it's still nice to see the architecture and again how much effort they've put in restoring this. It's always nice, as you can see the old part which they're not done restoring yet, and then all around how nice it looks right now. So we're enjoying, but we're only gonna stay here for a couple of more minutes because there's another feast coming up. The only reason I keep calling these dinner feasts is because the food is great and it's pretty cheap. Today we're going to Cetis. And that's what I said, Cetis. I'm not sure you would have noticed if I wouldn't tell you, but yesterday I didn't film anything and we skipped a day of vlogging. I decided not to because I thought it wasn't necessary. We stayed all day in Riga and we visited two museums. We visited the War Museum and the Corner House, as they call it, which was a KGB prison. And by the name you can tell that's nothing to film about there. It's you gotta go there and have an experience of your own. So if you're in Riga, I highly recommend going there. Now we are in Cēsis, about to visit the Cēsis castle. Where are you going, traveler? The cool thing is, you get to discover the castle with a lantern. Cēsis castle? Pretty cool. What? We are now at the Ethnographic Museum of Latvia. As you've noticed by now, it's an open-air museum, and what's cool about this is that they took buildings from all over Latvia, old buildings, and they formed this village in the middle of the forest. I'm not sure how long it took to actually build this village, but it's obvious that it was a tremendous effort to take some of these buildings apart and actually put them back together over here, because in most cases they had to do that, plus preserve their original form. But so far my favorite thing about this open-air museum is that on every single building you can read when was it built, what kind of role it served in the village, and in most cases who was using it. Plus, I'm not sure I mentioned yet, but this place is huge. There are more than 100 buildings here, and I doubt we'll have time to see all of them today. I am really happy we came here, to be honest, but now we gotta catch a bus back to the center of Riga, or how they say, Riga. Check this out. Come, I want to show you something. If you don't know the story of the musicians of Bremen, I'll sum it up for you. There was once a donkey, a dog, a cat, and a rooster who were getting mistreated, and they were old, and they all decided at some point to go to Bremen to become musicians. The story says one night they found a hut that had robbers in it, so they stood on top of each other and screamed at the robbers, and the story says they managed to scare them away. And they lived in that hut happily ever after. Now, my question is, how did they get to Riga? So why I'm here is because it's believed that for good luck, you gotta touch their noses in order. You gotta do it, right? Smack the rooster in the head. Today was our last full day in Latvia. We have still half a day tomorrow. The other members of the gang had a trip back home already. So I guess it's time for one more Latvian dinner and then go for a walk, because Riga is also really nice at night. Okay, well, this is where our Latvian trip ends. All I can say is that we had a great time. And if you know me, you know I went shopping for chocolate. Lots of chocolate. I can finally say I've been to the Baltics. Although, Estonia, I see you.